Welcome to welcome to the Global Brief with yours truly, Opal Lee. Real issues, real impacts, real. All right. So of course, let's jump right into it. Just jump right into it. All right, we'll see if we can do that. All right, so here's the thing that we want to talk about. There's so many things that we need to talk about today. And the first thing that we want to jump on is what is happening with the Nolan case, the Nolan Wells case. Have you been following up on it, Tony? All right. We're trying to let's fix something. Miss Miss Sterling, can you see if we could just play some music and we'll get back to this? All right, let's do that. All right. All right. So, of course, one of the things that we're talking about is Mr. Nolan Wells. He was 18 when he went on a trip to a private island or island with his friends. And here it is that he went ahead, his friends returned without him. And we have a saying in our district that when all friends go out, no one is left behind. So why he was left behind, we don't know, but he should have never been left behind. Tony, do you agree with that? Right. All right, so they traveled. Listen, here's the thing. This might be a little bit of a touchy subject because maybe some people are thinking race may be involved. So this 18-year-old, he went with a group of friends to celebrate the 4th of July, and they went to Horn Island, right? And he just never returned. There are some stories that said he was drinking, but what I'm more fascinated with, and that all the teens were drinking, but that has nothing. Well, that's true. But here's the thing, there's more to the story because we don't believe that this has anything to do with alcohol. So July 4th, he appeared during the boating trip. Between July 5 to 6, there was a search which ended with the tragic discovery that, his body was discovered. July 7th, the family hired well-known attorney Ben Crump. And between July 8 to 15, right. And between July 8 to 15, the investigation has expanded, of course, expands. And there have been audios that have been released. First of all, the other children that were on the boating trip, or I should say this trip to this Horn Island, some of them have very affluent parents, right? And it's been told that these kids and their parents have what is it? No, but they're now silent. They've gone very silent. And on social media, they have disconnected their social media. So of course people are saying, why have you doing? All right. So most of these kids now, he was the only. Oh, I know you would say something about that. But here's the thing now. He was the only black kid. And I like what somebody says, another black parent, and it's just the truth that we have to deal with, right? What she basically says is that she's very careful when her black kid or son, not that she doesn't want him to have friends that are from other races, that is fine. But before she let them go on a weekend or on any overnight, she makes sure she speak with the parents, right? Those white parents, and say, listen, oh, here we go. Listen, you didn't let me finish, Tony. You did not let me finish. I understand. But you didn't let me finish, Tony. Okay. And by the way, let me finish first and then you can tell me what you want to say, okay? All right. So here's what this black parent was saying, this mother. She said she was cognizant of the fact that, going to a school or her child going to a school where it was really mixed, or I should say mostly, white kids are there. And so she's no he's going to have friends, but it was time when her son came to her and said, listen, I want to go and spend some time or a weekend with a friend. No, it was this one particular friend. but they were going to this Bel Air type of home. She described it, where very affluent neighborhood, where if you hear stories and you see this little black kid going into these neighborhoods, she didn't want cops, she didn't want the neighbors, hold on, she didn't want the neighbors calling people on her black son, right? So she basically said, listen, yeah, but it's true, Tony. It's a reality. It's a reality. This will happen. People, they will see a black kid into a certain area and said, okay, do you belong here? So what she did, she said, listen, son, I'm going to let you, and her son was basically pleading with her, mom, do not do this. Do not embarrass me. Do not call my friend's parents and talk to them like this because you're embarrassing me. And she said, you know what? Do you want to go or not? Because if you want to go, we got to lay it down. So we're asking them if they're going to take responsibility. So all she did, she called those white parents and said, listen, my son is going to, I'll let my son go with you guys, but can you promise me that he'll be safe? Can you promise me that you will go to all your neighbors and explain to them that you are hosting a black child? And please, if they see him there, he belongs there. And I mean, I know it sounds drastic. It's going overboard, right? But that's something that she chose to do. If you want to give your input on that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with people having interracial friends. I have, you know how my friends are set up, Tony. You know this, right? That I have friends from all walks of life, right? I have friends from all walks of life. So, but at the same time, I'm just thinking it is the reality. It's what we have to be dealing with. These kids are going there, they're having white friends and there or Spanish friends or whatever it is. And the thing is that based on how what I am seeing, and this is my personal opinion, what how I'm seeing everything is running right now, I am sorry, man. I think there's some racial issues that need to be dealt with because I think even in political or anything like that, race is driving a lot of things and bringing hatred into people and making people say some mean things and do some mean things, and things will happen. I don't know if it was just racially motivated or if it had something to do with a girl or boy relationship. But what we do, and by the way, for those who are just joining us, we're talking about the Nolan Well situation. This is one little black kid. He was the only black kid who went on the boat and he never returned. And there were mixed stories. People were saying, oh, he wanted to stay on the Horn Island some more with a girl. And then there was a phone call that was made, and the people are saying they had to leave the island because their boat was taken in water. Well, guess what? If you want to call in and give your input on that, please feel free to do so. It's 850-446-0562. That's 850-446-0562. There's breaking news, though. There's an update on this, and thanks to Nancy Grace. And here is the update. Nancy Grace, remember her? She does, she does. And so she actually have an update. Yeah. She basically featured a newly enhanced C-TOW dispatch audio. Let me we got the clip. Okay, I don't know what was happening there. Okay. So we got the no, we don't have the clip, but here's the thing. It says here that the call was made about 4 p.m. from a boat near Horn Island, Mississippi. All right. The enhanced video captures chaotic shouting. Remember, though, when they made this call, they were claiming, or whoever made this call was claiming that their boat is taking water and that they need to leave, right? And they're hold on, hold on. They were saying they need to leave. And so they're saying because they needed to leave, they left Nolan because Nolan wanted to stay on the island. That's what their story was. So everybody was like, I left Nolan. He was back on the island and we're leaving, right? So now it is that this just came out where from Nancy Grace, and Grace basically mentioned it, and it says the call was made about 4 p.m. In the background, you could hear enhanced audio captured chaotic shouting, including "Wake up! Is he dead?" And there were commands to be quiet, even as the main speaker tells the dispatch for everyone is healthy and accounted for. Yeah. So no, here's the thing. Who were they telling to wake up? Remember, they said they left because their boat was taken on water.
Who in the hell leaves a friend behind?
Well, that's true. That is true.
It sounds like a setup to me.
That's what it sounds like to me. And so, if I'm putting race aside or anything, I think this is a lesson to be learned to everybody out there who even, have kids. Not like your kids, yes, they're going to be having interracial friends, but I think we'll be naive if we don't think that we have to do certain things to make sure our children are cognizant of the fact that race does exist. Go ahead.
That's true in all walks of life.
Hey,
My daughter will come up with these.
Tony, if it was him and his black friends, they weren't gonna. No, if it was him and his black, I'm gonna cut it. If it was him and his black friends there, that guy would come back home safely.
What would say?
You heard me.
No, I didn't.
I said if it was him and his black friends there, he would come back home safely. What you think?
I mean, I can't testify to that, but I can say that I know that my daughter, at 14, she comes up with these elaborate plans. Oh, we're gonna spend the night, we're gonna do this and all this and that. Then the fatal question.
What's the fatal question?
You confirm that with the parents?
Oh, and the parents maybe sometimes don't know anything about it.
Well, not really. Well, give me their number because I want to speak to them. I want to speak to them. Then 9 out of 10 times you speak to the parent's like, well, I can say, look, I can, my daughter didn't run that by me. I said, well, that's what my daughter's been running by me for the last 3 days. So I guess they've been speaking in school about
Mm-hmm.
some type of, I guess they call it play days.
Mm-hmm.
And the other parent says, "Oh yeah." That's exactly right. This or that, and but the majority of the time they have no clue what I'm talking about. They're just as in the dark as I was. So I speak to them.
Well, talking about kids, have you been following up on the David murder case? Where this is the one where he was apparently or allegedly dating Celeste. And apparently there's a song that he wrote about Celeste, right? They just had the inquiries where the judge basically ruled that it is okay for him to go ahead and stand trial. We don't know why it took so long.
What do you mean, like
They found a body.
something that's all-
No, but they were doing to see if there's a case there. They were trying to see if there's a case there, which I don't understand. How could they be thinking or even contemplating or wondering if there's a case there? So David, he's an entertainer, he's an artist, right? And so they had the preliminary hearings just this past week, 5 days of it, I believe. And they found the 14-year-old Celeste Rivas was in his car, in that Tesla. They found the body. It was mutilated in his car. Yes, in his car. He had went to tour, came back, and his car and it was still there. All right. And now they, after hearing everything that was going on in the preliminary hearings, his defense is basically claiming, and by the way, I think he had started dating this girl, or she has been hanging out with him from she was 12 years old, in his 20s or something. He's a big man.
He was found mutilated, right?
Who, the child, the 14-year-old child. Right.
Another mistrial of justice because it shouldn't have been out. Was it what?
But the defense is saying that she, was threatening David. Let's go right to it. It basically says there were messages going back and forth between her and David. Celeste Rivas allegedly threatened to kill David just one day before prosecutors say he murdered her. Um, and they're saying that this happened because of his alleged relationship with a former pal whose name is Alicia Collins. The message shows Celeste grilling David.
We're all minors.
I don't think Alicia is a minor, but she basically, what Celeste was saying, why he want asking her why was she friends with Alicia. So she was jealous of this other girl, and she said, oh, she sent a text to him allegedly. Oh my effing God, I swear to God, I'll kill you, Celeste wrote, according to testimony from David's preliminary hearing. She also threatened to strangle David, tell lies to her father about him, mutilate his private area, and end his career and life. This is a minor. She was a minor. She has been hanging out with him, going on tours from she was about 12 years old. Go ahead.
What's the family?
That's what I'm about to say. I am sorry here. I mean, I think at some point, parents, you guys need to be accountable. We're not victim blame. but the parents need to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. That is my theory, and I'm standing by it. These parents should be brought to justice right this minute. How could you have an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old? I think, and they knew. I mean, the evidence is out there that says that they knew. They knew about it because at one point when she wanted to go to tour with him or go out to the country, they gave their written consent.
Well, like I said, maybe they were financially handsome because of this.
You never know, but they gave their written consent, so they knew about David, or knew about their relationship. As a matter of fact, I think another one of her family members actually went on a trip with she and David, so the family knew about it. My thing is, shouldn't these parents be prosecuted as well? Yes, he is there now. The David is behind bars and he's being brought to trial. But
First of all, that, what the hell is it?
that's the name. He's D and then 4 and then VD. He's a singer. He's an entertainer. What do you mean? What kind of singer? Well, go on YouTube or something. He was very popular with the teens and with the kids. And I know what you're going to say. Obviously, with the kids, right? Obviously with the kids. Obviously with the kids. But I think at this point, I am sorry. I mean, the parents should be prosecuted. Definitely. We're coming up to a break in about a minute or two. But if you ever want to join in on any of our conversations, please feel free to do so. 850-446-0562. That's 850-446-0562. That's the number if you want to talk about or join our conversation. So today we have been speaking about David. He was the one who is right. David. Yeah, it's not David. It's not David. It's David. And he's right now going on trial for the death of his girlfriend, Celeste Rivas, who was 14 years old at the time of her death. But apparently, she had been hanging out with him from as young as maybe when she was like 12, maybe 11, 12 years old. And it's alleged that her parents knew about this relationship. But, even going back to the whole R. Kelly thing, I think a lot of these parents just know that their child is doing all these things. Why aren't we prosecuting the parents? I'm sorry. Why can't you control your child? Why can't you instill certain moral values in your child? You have to take responsibility for this.
No. What you're saying is 100% true. But I'll tell you what, that I don't know. It's like these people get caught up with the reported story.
Mhm.
They got viewed. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
So no.
And it's alleged as well that she was also pregnant. She was pregnant for him and had an abortion. But when we come back from the break, we'll continue with this conversation, and you can call in to join in. It's a global brief with yours truly, Opal Lee and Tony Rufino. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Global Dreams with yours truly, Opal Lee and
Tony's son, Anthony Hall. Tony Ruffino.
You never know what name
I'm
you
just
want to
playing with
be.
you guys. Just playing. Tony Ruffino here. And sorry, we're having a little technical difficulties there for a minute. I couldn't hear some things, but
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Go.
All right. So here we are talking about different things right now. We're talking about on the global brief. Tony, we were just talking about that young man who lost his life.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that deal with these types of issues.
Well, I'm telling you what, I'm glad that we saw. I'm glad that we know that have that enhanced video because you know what? God is good. And the truth, yeah, the audio, right? Because the truth must come to the light. And I think that's what happened in in this case. But we were also talking about David just before the break, where it is that, allegedly, well, he's been charged with murdering that little girl, 14-year-old girl. They found her body in his vehicle. And what I want to know is what was she doing with this adult? What does her parents have to say about this?
I'd like to get them on the phone.
We should.
Can we get them on the phone?
We should because there's some questions that I would love answered where this is concerned. All right, let's go to another topic now. And remember, guys, you can always jump in 850-446-0562 if you want to give your take. So here it is: a same-sex couple sues a surrogate who refused to abort their 2-year-old son over a yes. So they paid a surrogate to bring their child. So it was a same-sex couple, two males. And so they asked this young lady, or they paid her to be a surrogate and bring their child. Well, but while she was pregnant, the medical appointments, it shows that the child was going to have a defect, was going to be born with a defect. So these two guys said, listen, go ahead and abort. And she's saying, no, I'm not going to abort. Remember, no, it's not her child. Remember, but it's not her child, Tony. It is not her child. And I'm pretty sure.
Dictate what she does with her body.
What? Wait, listen, you obviously don't know the surrogate. You don't know the.
Doesn't matter. So you're saying,
Tony?
That if they wanted aborted, they can on a whim have it aborted.
When you're a surrogate, you only pay. You get paid or whatever it is to bring that child. That child has no biological relation to you. Okay, it is not her child. And so the couple, I don't agree with what they're saying, but I'm just telling you I'm just giving you guys the facts. Okay, so when she got pregnant, she was bringing the child. She found out, or the doctors told her, that the child was going to have a birth defect. They went ahead and they told the parents, and the fathers wanted her to abort, and she says no.
Good for her.
No, she's not going to. And this was a Canadian sex couple. So let me break it down. So a Canadian sex couple is suing the woman who carried their now, so the baby was born. They carried their now 2-year-old son because she refused their demand to abort the fetus because of a minor birth defect. And so they filed suit. They filed suit in Ontario back in May.
I bet they lost.
No, it's still going on right now. It's filed.
By that time, it will have gone so far that it's now not legal or possible to abort.
What they're claiming is that the parents, that the same-sex couple, they're claiming that the surrogate didn't adequately keep them informed about the baby's health, that she put the child at risk, violated confidentiality, and caused them emotional distress. By the way, I think this was a story where the surrogate also decided that she didn't want to have the baby at a hospital. She said she wanted to have a midwife at home, and so that caused maybe further damage to the little baby. Because I don't understand. I mean, you're just bringing this child. How can you dictate to this couple that you don't want to go to the hospital to have the baby?
You dictate that I want the pregnancy terminated via abortion.
So you're saying the surrogate. So you're saying it's her body, so she should decide if she wanted to keep that. It's not her child though.
It had a heartbeat.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. There's the answer.
Uh.
There's the answer right there. There's
Um.
you got it.
All right. Listen, the lawsuit has been filed. The exact dollar figure was not mentioned in the filing, but the mother, whom the outlet does not name, said the couple has indicated they're seeking around $600,000.
Good luck.
All right. And she's basically saying, I'm a single mom, I have a daughter, and you're basically suing me for my house. It seems very, it's just awful.
Excellently.
She said she feel used. They didn't get the perfect child they wanted, and they threw me away. Unlike the U.S., where you pay for surrogate mothers, that can exceed $100,000. Canadian surrogates are only reimbursed for receipted expenses they incur in bringing the pregnancy to term. So let's see if we could go to a call. Go ahead and see if we can get this call. Go ahead, caller. Yes, go ahead. Yes, we are hearing you loud and clear.
That's right. That's what I'm saying, my man.
So you're saying she should do,
Exactly.
but listen, caller, say you want to have a child. Hold on, you want to have the child, right? And you pay somebody, anybody, you pay that girl to bring this child. It's your sperm and your partner's egg. Okay, hold on. And all you guys do is put it into this woman's body. You want this woman to dictate when and how the child to be brought to the world? And if there's a medical defect or whatever it is, or suppose the doctor say, listen, sir, when your baby is born, the baby's only going to live for 1 day. And suppose you said you want the baby to be born in a hospital. Suppose you said you want the baby to be born in a hospital where there are physicians, hold on, where there are proper medical people.
That's right.
So if it's her body, she can smoke and drink if she wants. So can she?
That's
No.
not the mother hat.
Hey, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Listen, I did not say I was totally in agreement with the guy because listen, I think they're jerks. They just because of a minor defect, right?
That's right.
Right.
That's correct. I like this man. It's completely ludicrous.
Do you think if you are I don't know if you're black, but let me ask you a question. Do you feel like you have an obligation if you have children and your children are going to have Caucasian friends? Do you think you have an obligation to protect them while they're with their Caucasian friends, and if they're just going up with only their Caucasian friends for the weekend? Do you think you need to do anything extra to their parents or say anything extra to their parents to make sure that your black child, come back home safe to you, or you think that's going overboard?
Now you changed the subject.
Hold on, let me ask the caller. Caller, tell me. Caller, do you think you'd have to do anything extra than the norm? Like you have any kid? You have kids, right? You have kids?
Yeah, he's got kids.
All right. All right. So do you think, I don't know if any of your kids have any Caucasian friends, right? Or any mixed friends or anything. Do you think you would have to do anything extra? Let's say they're going to stay with this Caucasian friend and the family member, the big, nice mansion, one of those Fresh Prince of Bel-Air homes where the neighbors them get suspicious when they see somebody come in the house. Do you think you'd have to do, would you worry when, okay, everybody is in that neighborhood is white and I don't know if your kid is black, but your kid is the only black one who's going to be there. Would you be nervous with your black kid going there in that neighborhood to spend a weekend? What if those Karens go ahead and call the cop on your kid, and then the cops show up and just shoot first and then kill? Do you think you have to do anything extra? Right?
Sure.
Uh huh. Mm-hmm.
That's,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very sad about what's happening with him because now I don't know if you heard. It's revisit it and talk to them again.
Exactly. I mean, I agree. My daughter has friends. Well, yeah, I believe it.
But Tony's white. Hey, Tony, you're white. You're not gonna worry. Your daughter's
I'm
white.
Jamaican. Jamaican. Ja Rastafari.
Huh? What was? It does. It does make sense. I totally get that. I get it.
My daughter hangs out with people of all colors, all creeds, all races, everything. Everything. And I don't have any issue with that.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. You got to be smart with your decision. It's not. It's a select handful of every group. Every group has the bad ones. Exactly.
Got it. All right. All right. Thank you.
Caller.
Thank you so much. Exactly. They have deactivated their social media accounts, etc.
First thing you do, particularly when
Yeah.
Trump's coming after you, because he's going to get the answers. I think the ship. I can tell you that right now because I embrace everybody. To me, it doesn't matter. You're a human being.
All right. Thank you so much for your call, caller. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. So listen, let me expand on this a little bit, okay?
So I mean,
Let me,
3 for 3, right?
okay, hold on. Let me expand on
Bang,
this.
bang, bang. Gotcha.
Somebody made a comment that you spent too much time over the weekend with the Marleys, Tony, because now you're white, but you're thinking you were spending all that time in Jamaica. Now you think you're Jamaican.
Hey,
And yeah, that's what you're thinking.
listen, I'm the most diverse person in this entire
Oh, here we go.
place of the
He
Caribbean. establishment.
Harry said he's going to go now.
Diverse.
You know what he's going to say now, guys? He's going to talk about his Indian. You're going to talk about you're more American than everybody else, right? Because you're one.
The most diverse individual within this whole entire group.
All right, let's see if we have another caller. Caller, we do have another caller. Do we have another caller? Okay. All right. So, not hearing anything. Let's see. Hold on. Not sure what's going on. Tony, can you say something else?
Hello. Well, I mean,
Let's
I
try.
continue on. I mean, I continue on about this race card and this stuff.
Let me see if that's better. I mean, is that better?
I think that it's completely preposterous that
Hold on. Let's see. All right. All right. Let's try this one more time. Let's try this one more time. Okay. All right. Let's see if it's coming back. Okay. Yes. Let's see. Let's see. Nada.
check 1, 2, 3.
Nothing coming up. Nothing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. 1, 2, 3.
The knobs.
Oh.
Turn the knobs down.
All right. Nothing. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if
Mic check.
is that better? Can you hear us?
Mic
All right. All right. So Tony, I wanted to give some more clarification. Right. I wanted to give some more clarification about the what we were talking about with the surrogate and the children.
This again?
It's the same thing we were talking about. So Tony. Just a little bit more. So here it is, real quick. It says this lady, she was going to do a surrogate and help out people, right? She ultimately decided on the same-sex couple and had in vitro fertilization using the embryos from the donor egg and both of their sperm. The relationship started off the relationship started off the relationship started off strong but soured in June 2024 when she told the couple about an ultrasound revealing the baby had a cleft lip, possibly
That's such a big deal.
possibly a cleft plate and a minor heart defect. She received a response from the couple asking that she terminate the pregnancy while she was in the Dominican Republic to officiate a wrestling tournament, leaving her devastated, considering that medical tests indicated that the fetus has or is likely to have a genetic, chromosomal, or other abnormality or defect.
Which means, hold on, that they were the ones that had the defect, right?
Maybe. All right. She said it was very difficult. She did not want to terminate the pregnancy. She did not want to kill. this baby. It wasn't hers. She was not biological related to this child. It was the other it was a parent's baby that they put into her, but she said she did not want, the parents wanted her to kill the baby and she said no.
Just
She said she would have agreed to an abortion if the child was unlikely to survive after birth, but would not abort a 22-week-old fetus for what she felt was a largely cosmetic birth defect.
see the tough palate. It's not something that I mean, I've seen pictures of children born with a tough palate.
Right.
And then after they say, "Come on, are you joking?"
Well, listen, the parents, hold on. The parents agreed, hey, maybe we'll try and do that and maybe we'll get an expert. Maybe we'll get an expert attorney. Maybe we're gonna get maybe a family law attorney that does fertility and deal with all this that maybe can shed some light. But real quick, because we only have a few minutes to go, it says here the surrogate said she would have agreed to an abortion if the child was unlikely to survive after birth, but would not abort a 22-week-old fetus for what she bled. So listen, the parents agreed. Listen, the parents agreed to proceed with the pregnancy after doctors at Mount Sinai Hospital said the baby was generally healthy and had no major problems beyond the cleft lip. But tensions flared again between the surrogate and the parents when, guess what, guys? She insisted on a home birth performed by midwives rather than a hospital, as the parents requested due to the cleft lip. So because
That happened before the diagnosis, or that was after?
afterwards. So she decided to go to a midwife. So the parents now, the biological parents of that child.
They already said that they don't want the child, so what the hell do they care?
Okay, but listen, right? But they decided no, they changed their mind and said, okay, we'll keep the child. However, we're gonna keep the child, but you have to go to a regular hospital. And she this woman is I'm sorry, this woman is out of control because now it's not. And yes, another caller already put me in my place and said it's her body. But come on, it's these kids' child, and this child. Hold on, Tony, hold on. The parents is saying, I want you to give birth in a hospital where there are physicians, where there are experts, there are medical team. And so now this woman who is just a surrogate, she's just a surrogate. It's not her baby. She's just a surrogate. She's basically saying, no, I want to have the child at home. And that basically put the child more at risk. The child, listen, let me finish real quick, Tony. The child had breathing difficulties during delivery, but recovered when he was given oxygen. And that an ambulance was summoned to take him what? To the hospital, the report said. After their child got treatment, the parents took the child home and ceased contact with the surrogate, who asked them to cover around $10,000 in outstanding expenses, lost wages, transportation costs, and skipped contributions to her pension plan. The parents ignored her, leading her to take them to small claims court, where she learned her contract required arbitration to settle any such disputes. She was then slapped with this lawsuit.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm glad that you clarified this was in reverse. The
Right.
Birth defect was discovered prior to the dispute about birth method or procedure or location. I wholeheartedly believe in having a live childbirth in a hospital.
In a hospital, right?
So there's so many things you throw on. You're already saying there's potential problems, so
Right.
you know, it's maybe a little bit mad.
And of course, a good family law attorney, and they would make sure that they have all of this written in a contract. Like, if it's a parent's children, if it's a parent's child or the biological, who should give a right or say, where does which hospital the birth should take place? What happened if the child has a birth defect? Whose decision should it be to abort the child, if any? Should it be the biological parents or should it be the surrogate? But all of this, if both of them have good attorneys, family law attorneys, all of that should be in the documents, Tony. Yes, it should be in the contract.
Let me tell you this. So you're gonna put in there, that we can have this pregnancy terminated. Okay, let's assume that I'm the one carrying the baby.
Right.
How are you gonna get me that? I'm not going.
You sound like you're out of control.
I'm not out of.
So even though the contract that you decided and So sue you. Oh, listen to him. He's out of control, guys. 850-446-0562. 850-446-0562. We have maybe about 2 minutes or 3 minutes to go. If you want to give your input on this or any of the other topics that we touched on today in the global brief, what we're talking about here, we're going to end it today, is where that lady, she's agreed to be surrogate. So you're telling me if the contract that she signed and they have both good attorneys and they put that in the contract and she agreed, hold on, Tony, she agreed because I'm an attorney. But anyway, you agreed when you became a surrogate. And if you agreed in writing that the ultimate decisions about this pregnancy will be left up to the biological parents, then how dare you later on try to change it up?
Child.
Well, that's why the attorneys would put all of that in. Okay, let's see if we can go to a call. Go ahead, caller. Thanks for rocking with us on the Voice of the Caribbean. Caller, you're live. How are you?
Exactly.
All right, caller. All right, all right. So, all right, then you win it on this one, Tony. You see, when Tony win, I give him the props. So right, yeah. So right now you're saying the the parents are wrong on this one. The biological parents are wrong. It's a lady. It's a surrogate. I'm surprised nobody else called in to give their take on it and believe that the surrogate is wrong. But if you, since the callers come in right now, and said, "You are right, Tony," we'll give it that. My day will come next week, Monday or Tuesday, next week, Monday or Tuesday next week, where we're going to do this all over again on the Voice of the Caribbean. The Voice of the Caribbean. A caller said that the surrogate should win and should get the rest of her money that she's owed as well. All right, we'll do this again next week, Monday and Tuesday, 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. right here on the Voice of the Caribbean, 101.5 FM HD2 and simulcasting on 96.9 FM.
Have a good day.